Hello, my beautiful Redmare YouTube crew. You haven't heard from me for a little bit because I got stuck in a perfectionism spiral and an overachiever spiral. And I started making you lots of how-to videos. You know, how to do this with your horse, how to train your horse, how to do that. And of course the videos weren't very good because, as you can see, I'm an atrocious camera woman. But I kept thinking, you know, I had to give you the good stuff. I had to give you stuff about how you can get a horse to lead softly on a rope and, oh, I don't know what to do with with a shut down horse, or a horse who just reverted back to bad old habits. And they were all 20 minutes long. And I kept looking at them and thinking, I can't give my lovely YouTube people that. You know, first of all, if you need to know how to do stuff with a horse, go to Tristan Tucker, go to Elsa Sinclair, go to the Wilson sisters, go to Warwick Schiller, go to Justin Cahoon. You need experts for that. I can just get some stuff done, which makes me very happy. But why am I here? Why am I talking to you? I'm talking to you as not an expert, but as somebody who's muddling along. And as you can see, we're all a bit of a mess and a muddle. We don't have show ponies. We make mistakes. We let them get furry and scruffy in the winter. Paddock's always a bit of a mess. But, you know, happy because they can go in the woods. And I thought, that's what I can give you. I can give you the reassurance of somebody who's just like you. Not higher up on the mountaintop or further down the road, but just where you are. And so I suddenly thought, you don't need how-to videos from me. And that's why my inner self was going, no, don't post that. So the reason you haven't heard from me for a week or so is because I kept making these really long, rather bad videos, and then thinking, I can't do that to the YouTubers. And I came out just now, and as you can see, the sun has come out. It's been pouring with rain for 2 days. Oh, look, Flo's doing a yoga stretch. Good girl. And you can see that they've been getting a bit wet because I completely misread the weather forecast. And normally what we do is we rug them if the rain is going to last persistent and with low temperature for more than a day. They can do 24 hours perfectly well without a rug, and the rain just sits on top of their lovely coats. That's why we don't groom them a huge amount. We do grooming more like, sort of more like massage really, because we like them to keep the oil in their coats. But more than 24 hours they can get saturated, and then they can get a bit cold and shivery. And even though they've got all that lovely shelter to go into, and it's quite warm in those woods, they can get cold. Anyway, I misread the weather forecast. I didn't rug them. They were then, of course, sodden, so you can't really put a rug on a wet horse. I will sometimes in an emergency, but it's not that brilliant. So they got really, really wet, and they looked absolutely miserable. She was quite shivery. The other two were actually, those two over there were pretty sensible. They just galloped around to keep themselves warm. But it wasn't brilliant. And I felt a little bit guilty about it. You know that awful thing when you're lying in bed and the rain is hammering on the roof and you know that you haven't got your horse's rug on. And I know everyone says they existed for 56 million years before rugs were invented. And I know that actually it's much sort of healthier for them. The less you rug them, the happier and healthier they are. And I know all that, but she was shivering, weren't you, Doodle? And she was just looking, I shouldn't think she's ever experienced such a thing in her life. She was just looking baffled. Like, how could you do this to me? Weren't you? But look at them. You see, they didn't melt. They're all still alive. A little bit scruffy. Yes, you're doing yoga stretch. Oh, flow. But I mean, look at that Redmare. Look how happy and healthy she is. So nothing bad happened. We made a slight error in judgment, which meant that the horses were a little bit below their optimum place of delight for about 36 hours. And the reason I tell you all that is what I want these videos to be, is the place where you can come to give yourself permission not to get everything right. And I think every horse person needs one of those. Oh, hello. You want your bottom done, do you? Do you? Yeah, sometimes she does and sometimes she doesn't. Yeah? Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh, yes. This is where I know my job. Now look at... So she's happy. She's getting her bottom scratched. Oh, look at that face. Yes. Yes. There we go. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Look, if you're having trouble with something and it seems like it's something I might know about and you want to ask me, of course do. But actually what I want you to come here for is to find the imperfect horses, imperfect humans. If if your life is less than stellar and your ponies are less than show ponies and your horsemanship sometimes has a few holes in it and you make bad rucking decisions, this is the place you can come to know that you're not alone. And look, I did feel so guilty yesterday, and yet look how happy that horse is. Look at the peace. Look at the wibbly lower lip. Look at the dreamy eyes. Look at the dozy donkey ears. She's covered in mud. She's completely relaxed. She's just happy. The sun has come out and reminded us that this is all that matters. Well, two things. This, as in this moment in the world, this moment in time, this moment of existence, just for you and your horse. The more ordinary that moment is, the better. Somebody said a brilliant thing. She said, you know, when somebody dies, the thing you look back on is the ordinary moment. You think, I'd give anything for just one more ordinary moment. I think it might have been Brené Brown. She always says wise things. So the ordinariness and the realness and the presentness of this moment in time. And then the other this is reminding yourself what's important. And it's not being a brilliant horse person. It's not winning silver cups. It's not having the shiniest, smartest pony or the best kept paddock, which is lucky for me. It's, is your horse happy? And are you happy with your horse? That's what matters. So I am now rechristening this YouTube channel the place of joyous imperfection. I'm not really, I'm just saying that, but that is what I'm thinking, and I think that will be our theme. Happy Saturday.